So, Dexter, it was a great show. It was a great show. We all loved it. But it had the worst finale ever. I mean, until someone dethroned it. And so now, we're back! A limited series, 10 years later, 10 episodes. Clyde Phillips, he's back! He's gonna bloody fix it. He even said, this finale, I started from the end and I worked backwards, and this finale will blow up the internet. You can quote him on that. He said that. That is so insane to me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Can you imagine if he fucks this up? And then Dexter will now be like the worst finale, and then the third worst finale ever? That would be amazing. That would be so crazy and insane that we would live in a world that exists that has that. I mean, I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna be, I'll be angry, but it would be funny, I guess. I mean, maybe at some point I would laugh about it. I'm still not laughing about the Game of Thrones finale, though, so maybe not. But, at least Scott Buck isn't back. The man who's famous for making all the shows, and who is even more famous for saying the very famous quote, "My name is Scott Buck, and I'm here to fuck up your franchise." He said that. Google it. So, each week, I'm going to be giving you 3 big yays and then 3 big nays. But before we do that, let me set the scene. Miami's friendly neighborhood serial killer, Dexter, sailed into the hurricane to be reborn a lumberjack. ... And now, 10 years later, he's beyond the wall in this frozen Fargo/Twin Peaks-esque town. No more hot, sweaty boys covered in sweat being like, "It's so hot and sweaty." Now it's all jumpers all the time. Everyone's got hot cocoa and they're sitting inside by their warm fires. Here we go! Big nay number 3. Woo! It's bad. It's a bad episode. It's just not working on any level. I mean, at least for the first 30-35 minutes. We'll get to the final act in big yays. But we're on big nays right now, and I've got to be honest, the first 2 acts of this show really weren't working for me. Nothing's really kind of gelling together. We've got bad side characters. Michael C. Hall's performance really isn't kind of working for me. But I think this all kind of is emphasized and epitomized by this one kind of aspect of the show, which is the soundtrack. So the original Dexter had this haunting, beautiful, tragic, kind of magical fairy tale-esque music and soundtrack to it. It had like strings and piano and just this feeling and sound that kind of moved and swayed and brought you through this world in just this beautiful way. And now it's been like 10 years, like looking back on it, it's iconic music. And the fact that we don't really get like any of that stuff in it is really disheartening. And then the fact that they're like, actually, instead of that, what I think would be really cool is we did kind of like that show Weeds, where at the end of the episode, a song would play and you're like, oh, I get it. He's saying the theme of the theme of the theme. He's saying it in the song. Let's do that. And they're like, yes, like, but also Suicide Squad and Cruella. Let's just do that. Let's just play music, but have it be the theme. Get it? You fucking get it? So we start with, "I am a passenger, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, boom." And it's like, okay, it's pretty funny. I get ya. Dark passenger. It's funny. I'm on board. The snow, it's all, okay. And then like 2 minutes later, it's like, "The devil needs his Jew, the devil's gonna get his Jew," or whatever the fuck he's singing. Something about the devil and the Jew and stuff, and I'm like, I get it. Yep, Dexter's the devil. Alright, that's funny, I guess, yeah. That's 2 very quickly. It's very quick. Nothing else has really happened yet. There's just songs saying his feeling. Okay, what do we got next? Story or something? And they're like, no. He's going to meet all the townsfolk. And then it's going to be like, "Every day is a little white lie." You fucking kidding me? What the fuck are we doing? What is this? Are you fucking kidding me? But luckily, that was the lot. No, actually, no. And then like 5 minutes later, it's like, "I'm haunted. I'm still haunted. I'm haunted. Yeah, you're haunted. I get it. He's haunted from his past. I watched Dexter season 1 to 8. I understand all these things. You don't need to be fucking needle dropping me this stuff. Please stop. Big nay number 2. bad side characters. I mean, this show, I can't blame the show for Season 8's transgressions and fuck-ups and all that shit, where it's like, we can't get a Masuka, we can't get an Angel, he's faked his death, blah, 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 so we're out in a snowtown. So, okay, new characters, new setting, side characters, okay, give you the benefit of the doubt, bloody hit me with it. We got 10 episodes, you gotta start out strong, you gotta hit with a bang, you don't get 8 seasons to kind of build everyone up. So, who do we get? I don't remember any of them. I don't remember any of them. I watched this twice this week. I don't remember any of them. And I think this kind of comes into the whole thing where it's like, okay, so we're going to have Dexter, and hopefully this isn't going to be like Bay Harbor Butcher Part 2, where it's eventually he gets found out that it's the Bay Harbor Butcher, and he's all like, oh no, I'm a serial killer, and everyone's like, oh no, we love you, Dexter. And there's lots of scenes of people being like, hey, Dexter, howdy, you coming to the bloody Hawks game? And he's like, Hawks, we're all friends, we're all bloody friends here. But I didn't feel anything. It just felt like they were doing it so that at the end, when they're all like, oh my god, no, Dexter, you're a serial killer. Oh no, I'm so heartbroken. I don't give a fuck. We spent 8 years of build-up with like the fucking Masuka and Angel and Quinn. Even Quinn I care about somehow. And it's like, I don't know. It makes me so frustrated that Season 8 fucked it so bad that we can't like have a redemption season that's going to fix all these things and fix what I wanted from the show. And now we're probably just gonna get like that guy who's like, I lost the dog name in the marriage. You know, a happy husband's a happy marriage. I'm gonna give up the dog name. I'm like, he's fine, but I don't care. Like, I don't know. He can be fine, but I just don't care. I don't care if he knows if Dexter's a serial killer. And I feel like they've made his girlfriend a cop just so that she can be like, oh, I'm a cop. I don't, and have that kind of Deb thing that they've botched because Deb's now dead, so you can't do that. And it's just all very disappointing, and I don't really care about any of them. And that really is like, emphasized at the top with Cop Girlfriend, who has the worst introduction of all time. Their fake I'm going to arrest you foreplay made me so sick that for about 1 second, I almost wished Hannah McKay was in this show. That's how much I thought it sucked. But obviously, I'd rather anything than Hannah McKay. If she appears in this show, I will lose it. Big Nay number 1. And this, guys, this hurts me to say, but it's the Deb ghost. I was never on board with the idea. I mean, I saw it in the trailer. I knew that she was cast. I understood exactly what that meant. We all did. If we knew who was cast, I understood. But man, I'm so not cool with Harry not being in this. Harry and the Harry Ghost whole thing was such a vital and incredible and amazing aspect of the series. And to lose that, and not just to lose that, but to also lose Deb in the process and her acting ability somehow for some reason. It's travesty, it's heartbreaking. I didn't really think it would be that bad. There's a moment where he's fishing and then she like jumps out and there's like a demon ghoul from like Doctor Who, like grabbing her, and he's like, wah, and I'm just like, I know that's meant to have a certain type of effect, but I just laughed and I cringed. Every moment of her is really, really bad. Even just like the way it's filmed and presented, like Harry had like this really like amazing, like kind of over like cast, like really over saturated brightness to him, and everything felt very dreamlike and surreal, and some of them didn't, but most of it felt like had this vibe to it where you're in there with him and his dark passenger. And now with Deb, it's just shot the same. It's all just cold, flat, blah. I don't know. But really, the performance and the dialogue and the characterization of this side of his dark passenger, I'm not a fan of. I really wish I felt differently, and I'm actually really scared because this is going to be a consistent, ongoing aspect, and I'm saying it right now. I feel like she's going to be in the big 3 nays, like at least 4 out of 10 times. Big yay, number 3. Oh shit, Harrison is back. Oh my god. Oh, they're going to, hopefully, and very potentially not, but hopefully they're going to fix probably the single worst moment of the original series of Dexter, where Dexter's like, actually, fuck me, I suck. I guess I'll just give my son to Hannah McKay. The worst thing that ever happened in the show. Like, really so annoying, so frustrating, so disgusting on his behalf. It's so shit that he did that. It's so disgusting. So the fact that maybe they're going to have some redemption and these two characters kind of blossom and have a kind of a relationship, because Harrison was essentially a little baby. He was like scratching someone under a big balloon tent thing, and like they did very little character development with him. So I'm very excited to see where they're going to go with this. Is he going to be our emotional arc that by the end of the season we're heartbroken that he finds out Dexter's a serial killer? Is he also going to be a serial killer? There's just a lot of really fun stuff they can do here. I think the actor has shown like a bit of promise. Like he's like, if you don't fucking want me, Dexter, then fucking say it. You know, when Dexter's like, oh, I don't know if you're my son. Ooh, and he's like all, scared at first and stuff. So I'm really, really excited, and I kind of hated it because the trailer ruined it, but in hindsight, thinking about it, it's very, very funny that he just Michael Myers' Dexter for like the whole episode, and he's just stalking him in the background. So, big yays all round. Big yay number 2, the Dark Passenger reveal. Man, oh man, I really, really didn't like that first 35 minutes. And I wasn't even sure, there was one element that I'm like, something's just missing for this whole thing. And it didn't really click. I was too overwhelmed by the show. It didn't click for me. But then as we got the moment where he's because we get the fake out where he's bam, hits him. And then he's like, Jim, whatever your name, Jim, not Dexter, what are you looking at? And you're like, we're faking out. We're doing fake outs now. We're that show now. That's great. That's great. But then when we get the moment where he actually hits him, oh my god, my heart almost jumped out of my chest. It was so intense. And then that moment where he's like, it's been a long time. Oh my god, chills all over. It is so exciting. It is so intense. The fact that we can be so happy that Dexter has kind of descended back into his serial killerness, but it really felt like the show was finally being like, no, he's been trying not to be Dexter, but he is Dexter. He has that dark passenger. And as he says later, he's like, I was a serial killer. No. I am a serial killer. And it's scary, it's frightening, but it's fascinating stuff. And I'm really excited. I feel like everything finally came to a whole, everything kind of connected. All the 30 minutes where I'm like, I don't know if this is working. It now I feel works. Everything I didn't like about that first 30 minutes, I now do like, because it was all building to this moment of him falling back into his ways. And it's just so nice to hear that sweet, smooth, sexy narration from Michael C. Hall that kind of brings you into his world and makes you feel a part of his, let's be honest, the awful transgressions. And somehow we're all cool with it because he's just so charismatic and amazing. And he's killing killers, fuck Matt. Big yay number 1, Dexter's kill room. Being back in this kill room with Dexter, the plastic wrap all over the room, his victim on the table, screaming, them having a D&M, Dexter kind of having this rebirth moment it was the moment that the show was it made me go, oh, this is going to be incredible. I'm going to be completely on board with this show and everything it does. It was really, really exciting, terrifying, and horrifying. But even just the choice of music, as Dexter gets his plastic wrap all over the room and he's getting the kill room ready, it's not sad, haunting music with strings or something. There's almost this kind of uplifting, electric, driving build to it that kind of makes you feel excited for Dexter, which is horrifying and such an amazing choice. And then suddenly it cuts as he puts the final bit of plastic wrap and Matt's just sitting there screaming, and their conversation, I don't know, man. I've rewatched all of Dexter in hype for this show in the last month or two, and I really do think somehow it is one of the single best kill table scenes of all of Dexter. And Dexter really is at its best when they're having these D&Ms at the kill table and they're psychoanalyzing each other. Or I guess Dexter's doing that to them. They're mostly just screaming, but he often gets a lot from them and learns a lot about himself. And there's all this really interesting stuff there. And this really had it in spades. There are 2 moments in this scene where Dexter's eyes just light up, and the excitement and thrill of him holding the dagger up there, terrifying, mesmerizing, incredible stuff. Michael C. Hall I really don't know if he was nailing the start, but then at the end of the episode, I'm like, no, he was, because I didn't really feel like he was Dexter. And then he's in that kill room with Matt, and it's Dexter. It's Dexter Morgan. He's back somehow after 10 years. Mucklesy Hall. He's brought it, and it's spectacular. It's brutal. And as well, another like horrifying kind of addition to all of that is often they don't really show him actually chopping up the body parts or showing any of the body parts. It's just a big black plastic bag, and he chucks it off Slice of Life, his amazingly named boat, into the ocean. And, you know, it's kind of, you had to get a bit of a step back, that desensitization. I didn't say that word right. It's fucking, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like that, you know, you're a bit far beyond it. Like when you buy meat from the butcher, you're not imagining the butcher cutting it. But like there's a moment where it's like putting the head in the bag and it's all body parts, and they really showed the brutality and gruesomeness without getting too like hostile or sorry about it or anything, which I really appreciated, because there was like that moment of being so happy he'd done this, and then that kind of like, oh no, it's that yucky kind of feeling afterwards. And this really ended up being a fantastic start to the season, and everything I didn't like was really just building up to that moment where it all turned and it all exploded, and the Dark Passenger came out, and Dex is back. My God, am I excited! Thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, do all the bloody things, and check out my other podcasts, Two Brothers, One Pilot, Top and Tail, and Spoiler Talk. Links in the description.